Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jimmy and this is Patriots Glow. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys a super simple, easy build that anybody can do with basic woodworking tools at home that you guys can sell at your local booths or on Marketplace. Now, this build, I'm going to use cedar fence pickets and I'm going to use 2x2s that are already pre-cut down from my local big box stores. Now you can use 2x4s and rip them down on your table saw if you have them available, but I'm going to build it like you don't have a table saw available to you. So keep that in mind. It will be cheaper if you buy 2x4s and cut them down yourself, but we're gonna make it like this so everybody gets a chance to make these. Now, with that being said, planter box season is obviously in full swing. But not every planter box is built and sold the same. A better planter box than just any normal planter box that you can build anything is one that serves a purpose and one that not everybody is selling. So in today's build, that is what we are going to do here. Now, there are going to be a few different types and designs that you guys can change, that you can modify to make this better, or however you'd like to make it, but this is going to be the design that I've come up with and that you guys can go ahead and follow along with, or you guys, like I said, can make it exactly the way that you want to. So nothing set in stone, make it however you'd like to. Let's go ahead and get into this build. Okay, so this planter is going to be a little bit different. So the finish can be a little bit more rough, but I would still come through and sand everything down the best that I could, or plane it down so that you get a nice smooth surface, at least on one side. And that's what I do here. I do not plane, but I do sand all of one side down and a little bit of the other side, just so that it is not completely rough when I'm done. Remember, this is more of a utility purchase rather than a looks purchase, but people will always be for the aesthetics of any build that you make, so the looks of it will definitely help the sale of it. Okay, like I always say, go ahead and remove those staples so we protect our saws, our pants, and everything else. You don't want any sparks happening, and you don't want to dull out your blade on stupid staples in the ends of your boards. So I went ahead and put all four of my boards together, made sure they all lined up perfectly, and cleaned up those edges. Now, all you do is move down 18 inches and make sure you continue down 18 inches all the way until you get to the very end. And these will all be roughly 18 inches all the way until the very end. Even those last piece cutoffs, those are also roughly 18 inches. Now we are going to bring over those 2x2s next, and we are going to cut those at 5 feet. Now I cut mine at 5 feet because we are going to utilize the rest of that wood after I do this for the rest of our build. So make sure that if you're going to build it exactly off of my cut list here, that you do it just like this, because if you don't, you're going to either have to have more wood or you're going to have to do it a different way. Okay, since these 2x2s are not treated or cedar, I'm going to go ahead and come through and stain these because I want some type of protective coating on it. You can also put another protective coating on if you'd like, but I think stain will work out for me for what I'm doing right here. Now, after this, we are going to go ahead and start putting everything together, but we need to go and do a little bit of explanation here. All right, so this is where I'm going to stop real quick. This is a part where the designs can kind of vary depending on what you want to build this, or how you want to make this or change this up to be. Now, if you want this to sit all the way down on the ground, you will have to put something on the bottom so that you have a way for the water to drain out, because you'll drill holes into the bottom of this so that while you water it, it will drain properly. Or you can do what I'm going to do, is leave a few inches on the bottom right here with your trellis and allow this to be your feet And this is what I'm going to do to actually have it have legs so that it can sit on a patio, a porch, anywhere you want. Now it's going to have trouble sitting in the grass unless you put something here so that it doesn't like dig in or anything like that. It can still sit there, but I have a feeling this will eventually like sink into the ground. But still possible. So keep that in mind while you're doing this. This is the design that I'm going to go ahead and go with. So we'll leave a few inches down here on the bottom, install these, and then go from there. So let's go ahead and get to installing these. I'm going to go ahead and install my screws from the back side, at least from here, so that everything's on the inside, and I'll pre-drill this so that we don't actually crack this. And when we get to the other side, I will actually brad nail from the other side as well, but that's just to get a little bit of extra. Now, while doing this, I end up putting in 2 screws per slat here. You can very well do 1, but I think 2 works out really well. And then I don't actually come back through and brad nail from the other side, but you can do that for extra support. Just make sure when you're doing this that your screws do go through far enough to hold that in without any issues whatsoever. If you feel like you need to use more than that, feel free to use more, but I also use wood glue, so everything should hold up very nicely. And I am using Type Bond 3, which is waterproof, and I think everything should hold together quite nice. Now, from the bottom of the board to the bottom of that trellis where those legs are, I went up 4.5 inches, but that is not a very set standard. You don't have to do 4.5 inches. It could be 5 inches, 4 inches. It doesn't matter. Whatever looks good for you, do that, and that will be what you want to go with. So I find it easiest to do both parallel sides first and then attach those afterwards. So that's what you see me doing here. I start doing the other side, and then we'll attach those right after I get this all together. Now, this is where you need to use your surroundings to your advantage, and I end up using the wall because I'm going to use that wall to keep that straight up and down, and I am going to start screwing everything together. And I'll also do that for the other side and for that parallel side when I hook everything up together as well. So I'll bring you here to the center to watch while I'm putting everything together. It is actually attached on the top, and now it'll be attached on the bottom on both sides. So I stopped and went through a bunch of explanations here, but I actually am going to delete all of that and just show you. This is where I went ahead and actually cut out the rest of those cross members, and I didn't actually get that on camera for some reason. With the rest of the 2x2s that I have, I actually cut out 4 15-inch pieces and 4 14-inch pieces, and those are going to be cross braces that we use for this trellis. Now, that is also going to leave us roughly 4 or 5 inches of scrap wood that we're going to use right here. And we're going to attach that from the inside to the bottom of the box, and that is actually going to be for us to put the floor in, and it should be enough to attach the bottom. Okay, back to what I was saying. So these can go right down into here, But they do need these corners cut out. So they need right about 1.5 inches cut off of them. So you can cut them out however you want. It's entirely up to you. I'm gonna take. Get out of there! I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 of these, and I'm gonna take 1.5 inches off of the corners of each. I'll be right back. All right, and then they'll just drop right into here, and you'll have just a little bit right there. Now, this should be perfectly fine, but you do have a little bit of that other fence picket left that if you wanted to put right below this, another sliver of that fence picket going across the side, up the side, down below, that will give a little bit more support up underneath here, or even another cross brace going down below on this. It would be perfectly fine. You can do something like that. Don't forget. All right, now I'm gonna go through with some brad nails and brad nail these in so that they don't pop out. Also, do not forget to put some drain holes in here or leave enough of a slot in between these that it can drain some water out. Make sure that you have drainage in your planter. Okay, everybody, so let's go ahead and talk about pricing now. So people are already pricing their normal planters around $60 to $80 just on a normal planter box. But what we are selling here is not just a normal planter box. It is a planter box with a special utilization. It has a built-in trellis for either cucumbers or tomato plants. It can have something that grows upwards. That is what you are selling here. The idea and the dream of being able to plant plants for people that cannot normally plant plants because they don't have yards, the space to do it. So on balconies and suburban areas where they have to put these on decks and things like that, this would be optimal. This would be the prime design for something like that. What I would do is I would probably be willing to get $80 to $100 out of this comfortably, and I would be okay with that, and that would be a really good return on investment with time and material. But I think that you can comfortably get $100, and that would be after you negotiate down. So as we all know, something on like Marketplace, I would probably realistically put this out as $120 or $130 because we all know how Marketplace works. Hey bro, will you take $100 if you market it for $130? So if you put it on there for 80 or 100, you're going to undercut yourself when they say, hey, will you take $60 or $80? Because nobody ever wants to pay the full price of what you have listed on Marketplace. Now, what you sell at your local markets and things like that is entirely up to you or on Marketplace. And every area is different. Know your local market and know what you can sell things for in your area. Look them up. Or if you look things up in this general design and it doesn't exist and it's not out there, guess what? You have something that isn't even out there. So find something that's similar and base it kind of like that. This exact design has not been sold in my local area, so it sells really well for me, and it doesn't have any competition at the moment, but I'm sure that that will change here soon, and it won't take long before it does. So if you guys liked what you've seen, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe. If you hit that like button, please go ahead and hit the hype button. It really helps. And I appreciate you guys. And like always, you guys are the foundation that this channel is built on. I love you guys, and I hope to catch you in the next video. And normally I walk off, but I'm too far away from the camera, so see you later.